Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is December 3rd, Tuesday of 2024. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, trade schools come back up again. Is it worthwhile or not? It's a hard question to answer, but let's see if we can figure this out and answer the questions you might have when it comes to do I go or don't I go? So, stay tuned. Alrighty, so welcome back. My name is Eric, and yes, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Tuesday, December 3rd, and we're talking about are trade schools worth the money? You know, it, this question comes up a lot, and you know, an average trade school, most colleges that offer it are like a 2 year degree. So you're looking at 2 years, and you're going to be doing that hopefully after work because trying to go to college and get those certificates unless you're young, usually doesn't pan out, right? And for the adults, it's kind of hard to stick with it for 2 solid years because you probably got a family, right? So you're trying to balance everything. So when is it good and when is it not good? And then we can kind of get a better look at what really is going on. All right, trade schools. Trade schools are going to show you the basics, all right? And they're going to show you how people that write books and do all these figuring and everything else come up with how to do things, right? What I've found is they never talked to a real mechanic that had calluses and grease and everything all over his hands because it hardly ever went the way the book says to do it, right? If you follow a lot of these books step by step, it's just not feasible to take on that job, right? But the big thing when it comes down to it, how I look at it is, are you going to be doing a lot of warranty work or not? Because if you are, I think it's advantageous to be certified in as much as you can. That doesn't limit you to a small engine. I'm talking about auto mechanic too. When you go to work at a garage, let's say a Ford garage, and you want to come in as a mechanic, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to put you doing tire rotation, oil changes, right? That's where they're going to stick you because you don't have the experience yet, or you may have the experience from a different garage, but you don't have the experience of how that owner wants that garage to run. So normally you'll get stuck doing the smaller tasks, and then usually the owner will, or the service manager will start pairing you up with an older mechanic. And the best advice I could give you at that point is just shut up and listen. Don't try to overspeak him or her. Just shut up and listen and follow their lead. Because that's where you're going to learn the most. It's not going to be at a trade school. Where you're going to learn the most is paired up with a mechanic that has experience. And that mechanic has been in the field for a while. And he knows what works and what doesn't work. And how to best go about any particular project or repairs the right way. Now, on the flip side of that, see, I told you it's going to be kind of yay or nay, right? But it's kind of a gray area. Most most shops are going to want you certified. Now, if you go like with Ford wants you to go to school or take, online classes so that you become certified in different areas, whether it's the electric vehicles, whether it's diesel, whether it's, the list goes on. And a lot of times, what the garage does is they'll send you away to where they're doing the training, and it lasts like a weekend or a week, and you come back with your certificate that you put on the wall that you've completed that course. That allows you to do warranty work in those areas for that garage. Now, when it comes to a small engine repair garage, chances are it's going to be a lot smaller, right? And you might have 2 or 3 or 4 employees that are mechanics. But what I've seen there most of the time is either the owner or the lead mechanic, the older one, will go to these schools, or both. And that way they have the certificate, the experience, and they can do the warranty work. And in the case of your older mechanic, if he retired or just packed up and left, you could still do warranty work under the owner's certificate. See, everybody in the shop does not have to be certified in every aspect to have that run as a warranty shop. You just have to have one person in there that has the certificates to be able to run the stuff through warranties. Basically what it boils down to. And the owner or the individual has to pay money. Most of the classes are $300 to $500 plus books. And then you got your travel time, you got your motel rooms. But I can tell you, for us, is I went and I got all the certificates I could get. Claude didn't want anything to do with it because he wasn't good when it came to books and stuff. But he's still 10 times the mechanic that I am, even though I can tell you what the book says. That's what I mean. There's a big difference between being book smart and being streetwise smart. I'll match up any old mechanic that didn't even get a high school diploma, that's worked on small engine for 30 years, against anybody coming out of these trade schools that think they know it all. The guy with 30 years under his belt, I'm going to listen to. I'm going to shut up and listen. And he's going to tell me what has worked and what didn't work over the course of all those years. And how the book isn't always right. The book tells you if everything is optimal and everything comes apart perfectly. But what happens when you run into a problem? You're just screwed, right? And that's kind of like where Claude comes in. Claude, he doesn't have any certifications. I do. If we did want to run warranty, we could. Is there a lot of room for warranty? I guess it depends upon you as a shop and where you set your bar of honesty. And I don't want to have to lie for anybody. If my customer's in the right, then I'm going to fight for my customer. If the manufacturer that I do warranty work is in the right, I will fight for them. But both of them will know where I stand in the whole situation, right? And that is 95% of the stuff that I see come through our shop is non-warranty. 95+%. Now, this is something you have to think about. Well, how is it that your shop has got 95+% non-warranty work, that a lot of it they claim should be warranty, which is not? Why is it the other bigger shops have got half to 3/4 of their work is warranty work? And the quick answer is they're willing to lie on the forms. That's just as simple as I can get. Is they don't care. All they care about is getting their money. And a lot of these bigger shops have figured out that the chances of getting their money quicker out of manufacturer than the individual is true. So if you're putting in for a warranty, I just have to submit it. And usually within 30 days, the manufacturer has paid me. Whereas you get somebody off the street, drops their lawnmower off, and You get it fixed and you're sitting there with a $400 bill against it, and then the guy never comes back. You're stuck with that lawnmower. So warranty work is more aggressively gone after by the bigger shops because that's instant money for them. And in order to do that, you do need to have certifications, trade schools. You need to have that under your belt. Or at least the owner or somebody there has to be certified to be able to oversee any of that work being done. But the question comes back to, is it bad or is it good or bad to go to a trade school? And I say neither. I say if you've got the time, go into it with both eyes open. And it's part of the learning process. It can't hurt you any. But if it's like any other profession, after you get through school, then you throw everything aside and you do it the way it's supposed to be done. And case in point, my wife is a registered nurse. And they are probably one of the hardest classes to go. I think they push it now 3 years, and it's actually 4 years, but you don't get any time off for the summers and all that. They push you hard right straight through, all right? And you got to know all these different medications, body parts, and what stuff is for, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And one of the things my wife told me that when she first came out of nursing school, she had her RN, was she basically had to throw everything out the window because one of the first places she went was New York City Hospital down in the emergency room. And just the trauma that was coming through, gunshots coming through. And they didn't teach any of that in school. How do you handle a gunshot? Stabbing. There's more to it than just setting up IVs and talking nicely to the patient, right? But case in point, she told me, she said, I basically had to throw everything I learned in those 3 years out the friggin' window and pay attention to the head nurse on the unit of how to do things and how to go about things because they had a certain way of doing things in that ER to keep people moving through at a pretty good clip so that everybody was seen, taken care of, and out or upstairs for the OR or upstairs for a bed. One or the other, or both. That's the way I look at it when it comes to trade schools and going and getting certificates for different aspects of Briggs, Kohler, Tecumseh. The list goes on. Is a lot of that stuff you're probably going to throw out the door once you get into the business, right? The biggest thing I can tell you is if you want to get into small engine repair, the biggest thing that I would suggest that you learn is business. Accounting, keeping track of the money. The money is either going to help you or kill you. And if you aren't tracked at every last penny, good chances are it's going to eat you from behind. When you're doing very well, you take and tuck the money that are profits. Because anybody like me and Amos and a number of you guys on this channel that are in business know that it's cycles. You have good where the money's pouring in and then not so good where sometimes you're going backwards. But if you tuck that money and you kind of level it across the board, it's instead of having that wavy road that you're on, it's smoothed out quite a bit. But one of the reasons that I kind of step back from a lot of this warranty work and stuff is, if you really want to do it right, you got to lie. If a customer brings the lawnmower in and they smash the deck into the side of the house and they bent the deck in, and they're screaming at you they want warranty work, and you're looking at it saying, ain't no way that's warranty work. It's not like the building jumped out in front of you It's operator error. Had nothing to do with the lawnmower. You drove it into the side of the house. But more than once, I've seen where I'd say no, and they take it to a bigger dealer, and the bigger dealer runs through his warranty. Go figure. So that tells me that they were willing to, on a certain level, not be as truthful as they should have, in my eyes. I'm not going to say whether they're right or wrong. That's up to them. I can just tell you on my case and what I've seen in the past years, been doing this since '06, is you can't fix stupid. You honestly can't. I mean, if you got a customer that's screaming warranty, that's fine. Let them scream all they want. But you're the one that has to do a visual inspection. And a lot of these places that have warranty, people in place that you have to submit the warranty to, they also want pictures. And sometimes they want the parts shipped back to them, so they can tell if it was an oil breakdown on a piston and ring, or they look at all the striations on the piston. I mean, and a lot of the warranty shops, a lot of the warranty manufacturers, people that oversee the warranty, they're skeptical. I'll tell you that right now. And they expect dealers to lie. And if they feel you're lying, they'll call you out and ask for a bunch of pictures, parts back, etc., etc. I've never had that happen to me, but I also don't submit warranties that are iffy. If it's a warranty, then it's a warranty. If it's not, I can't do it. If you want to take it to one of the bigger guys, have at it. They probably will run you right through warranty with no problem. So let me know what you think, guys. I mean, I know this topic comes up every so many months on, is it worth it? And I think it's a personal decision that needs to be made, instead of me telling you, yes, it's worth it, or no, it's not worth it. It's something that you have to look at and say, do I have the time to do it? Is it going to make me a better mechanic? And will it attract more better paying jobs in that field if I have those certifications? Those are the questions you need to be asking yourself. So on that note, you guys have a great day. It's a personal preference, and some shops are willing to pay more for a mechanic that has more certifications. I'm not saying that not having certifications is the best way. I'm not saying that at all. Or I'm not saying having all the certifications is the best thing. It's up to you as an individual to find out where is your comfort level, and how will it help you the best. You have to look at financial. If it'll get you more money, it might be worthwhile, right? If you have the certifications in that shop and nobody else has it, makes it more desirable for you, right? Because the last thing the shop owner wants is for you to walk, or the service manager, because you own all the certifications that they're all working under. If you get a chance to work with an older mechanic like Claude, Jason, somebody that's got time under their belt and they've been doing it for years and know how to handle things when they come up. And the reason they know how to handle things when they come up is they've had the trial and tribulation of trying to figure it out numerous times in the past. And we talk about that learning phase. With time, you get experience, and from experience, good and bad, you get wisdom. The more you do it, hopefully, the better you are when it comes to wisdom of how to approach it the next time. I can tell you on my side of the street, I've got a bachelor's in IT. I hold the certifications for the warranties. I'm book smart. And I've learned more in the past year working with Claude, getting my hands dirty, than I have in any other stuff. And that's what I want to emphasize to you. If you can get matched up with an older mechanic, shut up, listen, and do what they tell you to do. On that note, we'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning. Hopefully I didn't screw you up trying to figure out what to do and what not to do. All right, guys.